I'd do a little video series on what's going on right now. And right now we are ready to have a family. Let's rewind a few years. When I was about 34, so that's 4 years ago, I was living in Switzerland and I wasn't ready to have a family, but at the same time I was conscious that I was in, my mid-30s, approaching my mid-30s, and I couldn't see that time happening anytime soon. So I took myself off to the fertility clinic with the intention of getting my eggs frozen. So I went along, totally not in a mode ready to have children, and they start the process with doing some of the fertility tests and seeing how many follicles you've got to produce eggs and things like this. And I got told that I had a fertility age of somebody that was 5 years older than myself, and that should the time come that I would want to conceive, that it may not be as easy as I might expect it to be. Now, I wasn't really expecting that, but it was okay because I wasn't in a mode where I was wanting to have a family right away. Or anyway, they did tell me that even with stimulation I may not produce that many eggs per round, and per round it was about $10,000. So I could have to do a good few rounds to get a good number of eggs to even consider having them frozen. And then once they were frozen, when you unfreeze them, some of the eggs can be no good anymore. So it's really, in my mind, I just felt it is a chance to have a family. But then also it was a lot of money. So I thought, right, I know, I just have to see what happens. What will be, will be. What's meant to be in my life will be in my life, and what isn't, isn't. So I'll wait, and I won't do this now, and I'll wait and see what happens when the time comes. So fast forward 4 years. So I went down to the local fertility clinic here because I've had the Mirena coil in since I was 19 years old. Not the same one. I've had Mirena coil remove, Mirena coil in, remove, in, remove, in, remove. So I've generally kept them in for 4 years or 5 years at a time. And I went down and had my coil removed. She told me that I may take a couple of months to have a proper period again, because I haven't essentially had periods for about 18, 19 years. So she took it out, and within 2 weeks I had a period, which was great. So then she, as part of the process, she wanted to run all the tests to make sure that we didn't try for months and months and months and then come up against something further down the road that we could have dealt with 6 or 12 months before. So I said, yeah, go ahead, do all the tests. So she did the hormone test on me. My egg reserve is very, very low. It's, well, she says super low, so I think it's like 0.6 or something. This number might mean something to someone. So she said that I would need a bit of assistance if we wanted to try naturally. So I said that we did want to try naturally. So she suggested doing something called an induction. Before she was happy for us to do the induction, she wanted to run all of the tests. And one of those tests was to have, I think it's called a BGC or BCG. So basically it's where you go in under X-ray, and they insert a catheter into your uterus and inject you with dye. And as they inject you with dye, they take X-rays and they can see how far the dye is going through your uterus and up through your fallopian tubes. It's to check for any blockages, to check if there's any fallopian tubes that are blocked that might then cause you something like an ectopic pregnancy, if there's any big scar tissue or fibroids that they haven't been able to pick up in the previous checks, because I had some ultrasounds before. So I had that procedure done, which I have to say was really quite painful. For if anybody's had a coil fitted, I could liken it to that feeling, but sort of deeper. Oh yeah, and this test that I had done today with the X-rays, it is quite uncomfortable, and I did feel quite faint and dizzy and a little bit nauseous afterwards, but it only lasted 15 minutes. And now, an hour and a half, or probably 2 hours later actually, I'm feeling okay, just a little bit sore, because it does make you bleed, and they say it will make you bleed for a day or two. So yeah, I just thought I would just give you a bit more information on that. But I have also read that some people who have been trying for a family for years and years and years have gone and had this x-ray with the dye, and had it flushed through their uterus and their fallopian tubes. And there's quite a lot of women that have said that they've tried for years and years and years, then gone and had this procedure done, and fallen pregnant within 3 to 6 months following it. It seems to be quite a common bit of feedback. So also, just for anybody out there that's been trying a very long time that hasn't had this done, perhaps go and get it done, because a lot of people are saying that it's actually helped them fall pregnant very soon after. And even the nurses in the hospital said to me today, they said to me, "How long have you been trying?" And I said, "Well, I haven't." And they said, "Oh, normally people come here when they've been trying a long time, and then they have this done, and within 3 to 6 months they're pregnant." So just a bit of feedback that might be useful for someone that's been trying for some time. If you hadn't had this done, maybe it's worth trying. So I had that done. The results came back from that, and they were very positive. So really my only problem was a low hormone level, in terms of I don't have many eggs left. So we decided to go home for Christmas, relax, enjoy our families, and then when we came back, we decided to start the first induction in January. The next episode will tell you about how we start the Clomid journey and everything that went after.